Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be diving into some cutting-edge research
Yeah.
from DeepSeek AI
Mm-hmm.
about their new reasoning models,
Right.
DeepSeek R10 and DeepSeek R1.
Okay.
We're talking AI that can solve problems, not just generate text.
Yeah.
Imagine an AI that can think its way through a logic puzzle,
Right.
write code,
Mm-hmm.
or even come up with creative solutions to complex problems.
Okay.
That's the kind of groundbreaking work that we're exploring today.
It's a huge leap forward. DeepSeek is using techniques like reinforcement learning to train these models to reason more like humans do.
Reinforcement learning, or RL as it's often
Yeah.
called,
Mhm.
is a fascinating concept. It's
Well,
like training a dog.
Yeah.
You reward good behavior,
Yeah.
and the dog learns what actions to take.
Right.
In this case, the AI model is rewarded for successful reasoning,
Uh-huh.
and it gets better over time.
Yeah.
But DeepSeek is going even further than that.
Okay.
They've developed these multi-stage training processes that are really pushing the boundaries of what AI can do.
Their first model, DeepSeek R10, was a real breakthrough.
Okay.
They trained it entirely using RL
Wow.
with zero hand-holding from pre-labeled data.
Really?
It was basically learning from scratch.
And the results were pretty impressive. DeepSeek R10 went from a 15.6% success rate
Correct.
to a whopping 71%
Mhm.
on a challenging reasoning benchmark.
Yeah.
That's like going from barely passing a test
Uh-huh.
to acing it.
It's a massive improvement, and it really highlights the potential of RL for training AI models to reason. But what really caught my eye was something the researchers called an aha moment.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this aha moment.
During training, DeepSeek R10 would sometimes hit a wall. It would get stuck on a problem, then pause, almost like it was taking a moment to reevaluate its approach.
Okay.
And then, boom, it would find a new path and solve the problem. It was almost like it was having a flash of insight, just like a human would.
Wow, that is fascinating. It makes you wonder, is this a sign of true AI cognition? Is it actually thinking like we do?
It's hard to say for sure, but it's definitely a sign that these models are learning to reason in more complex and sophisticated ways. And that brings us to DeepSeek R1,
Okay.
which builds on the success of R10, but takes it even further.
So DeepSeek R1 is like the next generation.
Right.
What did they do to improve on the already impressive R10?
DeepSeek R1 incorporates a series of improvements designed to refine the reasoning process and make the outputs more human-friendly. They broke the training down into 4 stages: cold start, reasoning-focused RL,
Okay.
rejection sampling and supervised fine-tuning,
Wow.
and RL for all scenarios.
Okay, let's unpack those stages. What's happening in this cold start phase?
In the cold start phase, they fine-tune the model with a small amount of human-curated data. It's like giving the model a good writing tutor. They're essentially showing it how to think in a clear, structured way, making the reasoning process more readable for us humans.
So they're not just focused on getting the right answer. They also want the AI to explain its reasoning in a way that we can understand.
Exactly. Then comes the reasoning-focused RL stage, where the real heavy lifting happens.
This sounds intense. What's going on here?
Think of it as boot camp for AI.
Okay.
In this stage, the model is trained on tasks that require serious reasoning skills, like coding, solving complex math problems,
Okay.
and tackling logic puzzles. These are domains where there's a clear right or wrong answer,
Right.
so the model can receive very specific feedback on its performance.
So it's like a rigorous mental workout pushing the model to improve its reasoning abilities.
Precisely. Then they move on to the rejection sampling and supervised fine-tuning stage, which sounds a bit harsh,
Yeah.
but it's actually a clever quality control step.
I'm intrigued. How does that work?
Imagine a talent show where only the top performers get to move on. In this stage, the model generates a bunch of possible solutions, but only the best ones are selected for further training.
So they're being very selective about what the model learns from ensuring that it's only exposed to high-quality reasoning examples.
Yes. And this helps to significantly boost the model's overall performance and accuracy.
Right.
Finally, we have the RL for all scenarios stage.
This sounds like they're broadening the model's horizons.
You got it. This stage is all about fine-tuning the model's helpfulness and safety across a wide range of situations. They want to make sure it can be used effectively in various real-world applications.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And one thing I've always wondered about is whether smaller, more efficient models can be trained to reason as well as these massive ones. You know, the kind of models that require massive computing power.
Right.
Did DeepSeek address this at all?
That's a great question, and they did. DeepSeek explored this using a technique called distillation.
Distillation. That sounds interesting. What is that?
Think of it like this. You have a master craftsman who has years of experience and knowledge.
Oy.
Distillation is like taking all that expertise and transferring it to an apprentice.
Uh-huh.
In this case, they take the knowledge from a larger, more powerful model and transfer it to a smaller one.
So it's like creating a more compact, efficient version of the original model.
Uh.
What were the results of this distillation process?
The results were pretty remarkable.
Okay.
Even the smaller models saw significant improvements in their reasoning performance after distillation.
Wow.
This challenges the idea that you need massive resource-intensive models to achieve high-level reasoning capabilities.
That's really exciting. It opens up so many possibilities for using reasoning AI in applications where efficiency and cost-effectiveness are crucial. Okay, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to talk about how DeepSeek R1 stacks up against the competition.
Right.
They went head-to-head with some of the most advanced LLMs out there.
They did. They compared DeepSeek R1 to OpenAI's models, which are some of the leading models in the field.
And how did it perform?
DeepSeek R1 held its own. In fact, it matched OpenAI's performance on tasks like Math 500,
Okay.
a really challenging benchmark.
Wow.
This really shows that DeepSeek's approach is not only effective, but it's also competitive with the best in the world.
That's a huge win for DeepSeek. It solidifies them as a serious player in the world of LLM development. This is all so fascinating.
Yeah.
We're talking about AI that can reason,
Right.
solve problems, and even learn from its mistakes. It really feels like we're on the cusp of a new era of computing.
I agree. These advancements are laying the foundation for a future where AI can collaborate with us, help us solve complex problems, and maybe even challenge our understanding of what it means to be intelligent.
Okay, we're going to take a quick pause here, but when we come back in part 2, I want to dive deeper into the specific techniques and challenges involved in training these remarkable reasoning models. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Before the break, we were blown away by the capabilities of DeepSeek's reasoning models, especially DeepSeek R1. What impressed me most was their multi-stage training process, which seemed to be key to their success.
Absolutely. It's a testament to DeepSeek's innovative approach to training. They really thought outside the box to refine the reasoning abilities of their models.
Let's go back to those 4 stages of training for DeepSeek R1. We touched upon them briefly, but I'd love to delve deeper. We started with the cold start phase, where they essentially gave the model a writing tutor.
That's a great way to put it. They realized that even if a model can reason effectively, if its thought process is a jumbled mess, it's not very helpful to us humans. So in the cold start phase, they use a small set of carefully crafted examples to teach the model how to think in a structured, understandable way.
So they're not just teaching it what to think, they're teaching it how to think clearly.
Precisely. It's like teaching someone to write a persuasive essay. You need to guide them on how to structure their arguments, present evidence, and draw logical conclusions. The cold start phase is all about giving the model that foundational training in clear, logical thinking.
And then we move on to reasoning-focused RL, where the model really starts to flex its mental muscles.
Right. This stage is all about honing the model's reasoning skills through intense training. They focus on tasks like coding math problems and logic puzzles, areas where there's a clear right or wrong answer.
So the model gets very precise feedback on its performance, allowing it to learn and improve quickly. It's like a targeted workout routine for building specific reasoning muscles.
Exactly. By repeatedly tackling these challenging problems and receiving rewards for correct solutions, the model becomes incredibly adept at reasoning through complex scenarios.
Now, let's talk about the stage that sounds a bit intimidating. Rejection sampling and supervised fine-tuning.
It might sound harsh, but it's actually a brilliant way to ensure the model is learning from the best possible examples. Think of it like a quality control checkpoint. The model generates a bunch of possible solutions, and then a filter is applied to select only the top performers.
So only the most accurate, well-reasoned outputs get through. It's like a rigorous audition process for AI reasoning.
That's a great analogy. This selectivity is crucial for ensuring that the model is constantly being challenged and pushed to improve. By only learning from the best examples, it avoids developing bad habits or settling for subpar reasoning.
It makes sense. You don't want the model to be complacent. You want it to always be striving for excellence.
Exactly. And finally, we have the RL for all scenario stage, where things get really interesting.
This is where they broaden the model's horizons and make sure it can handle a wide range of situations.
Right. This stage isn't just about making the model a better problem solver. It's also about ensuring it's a helpful and safe AI. They fine-tune the model's ability to provide useful responses in a variety of contexts, and they also work to minimize the risk of it generating harmful or inappropriate content.
So they're teaching it to be a responsible AI citizen, not just a brilliant but potentially reckless one.
Precisely. They recognize that reasoning ability is a powerful tool, and it needs to be wielded responsibly. They're teaching the model to be helpful to understand the nuances of human communication and to avoid generating outputs that could be harmful or misleading.
It's amazing how much thought and care goes into these training processes. They're really trying to shape these models into something that can benefit humanity.
Absolutely. They're not just building AI, they're nurturing it, guiding its development to align with human values.
And one of the most fascinating aspects of DeepSeek's approach is their willingness to share not just their successes, but also their failures. They actually talked about some of the methods that didn't work as well as they had hoped.
Yes, and I think that transparency is incredibly valuable for the entire research community. It's a reminder that progress isn't always linear. Sometimes you have to try different approaches, stumble a bit, and learn from those mistakes.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're all in this together. Let's learn from each other's experiences, both the good and the bad. It fosters a much more collaborative and open approach to AI development.
I couldn't agree more. Sharing those setbacks allows others to avoid making the same mistakes and to explore new avenues of research. It accelerates the progress of the entire field.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the concept of distillation, which DeepSeek used to bring the power of reasoning to smaller, more efficient models.
This is one of the most exciting developments in AI research. It allows us to take the knowledge and skills of these massive resource-intensive models and transfer them to models that can run on everyday devices.
So instead of needing a supercomputer to run these powerful reasoning models, we might be able to run them on our smartphones or even on tiny embedded devices.
Ugh, exactly. Distillation opens up a world of possibilities for making reasoning AI accessible to everyone. Imagine having an AI assistant on your phone that can help you write code, solve math problems, or even brainstorm creative solutions, all without needing to be connected to the cloud.
It's like having a pocket-sized genius at your fingertips. The potential applications are mind-boggling.
Absolutely. And this is just the beginning. As distillation techniques improve, we can expect to see even more powerful reasoning capabilities packed into smaller and more efficient models.
It really feels like we're on the verge of a major breakthrough in AI accessibility. This is all incredibly exciting, but I think it's also important to acknowledge that there are potential challenges and considerations that come with these advancements.
You're absolutely right. As with any powerful technology, we need to be mindful of how these models are developed and used.
Okay, well, we'll delve into those important considerations and explore what the future might hold when we come back for the final part of our deep dive. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the deep dive. We spent this episode exploring the fascinating world of reasoning AI. And I have to say, I'm both incredibly excited about the possibilities, but also kind of aware of the potential challenges.
Yeah, you're right. It's crucial to approach these advancements with a balanced perspective.
Yeah,
We need to be excited about the potential benefits, but also thoughtful about the potential risks.
for sure. One of the things that comes to mind is the potential for misuse. I mean, if AI can reason and make decisions, what's to stop someone from using it for malicious purposes?
It's a valid concern. Any powerful tool can be misused, and AI is no exception. It's essential to have safeguards in place to prevent these models from being used for harmful activities, like spreading misinformation or manipulating people.
Right. And it's not just about intentional misuse. We also have to think about unintended consequences.
Yeah.
What if the model makes a mistake? Or what if its reasoning is flawed in some way?
That's where rigorous testing and evaluation come in. We need to put these models through their paces, test them in a variety of scenarios, and identify any weaknesses or biases in their reasoning.
Like with any new technology, I guess.
Yeah.
We have to be cautious and make sure we fully understand its capabilities and limitations before we release it out into the world.
Absolutely. And it's an ongoing process. As these models evolve and become more sophisticated, we need to constantly reevaluate their safety and reliability.
Speaking of evolution, this whole conversation has really made me think about the future of AI. I mean, where do you see this all heading?
Well, it's hard to predict the future with certainty, but I think we can safely say that AI is going to play an increasingly important role in our lives. We're already seeing it in areas like healthcare, finance, and transportation.
Right. And as AI continues to advance, especially in its ability to reason and problem solve, it's going to open up even more possibilities.
Definitely. I believe we're moving towards a future where AI will be a collaborator, a partner in helping us solve some of the world's most challenging problems. Imagine AI helping us develop new medical treatments, create sustainable energy solutions, or even explore the vastness of space.
It's a pretty inspiring vision. But I also wonder about the impact on human employment. If AI can reason and solve problems as well as humans, will it lead to widespread job displacement?
It's a question that's been debated for a long time, and there's no easy answer. It's likely that some jobs will be automated as AI becomes more capable, but history has shown that technological advancements also create new opportunities in industries.
It's like the invention of the automobile.
Mm.
It displaced carriage drivers, but it also created an entire industry around manufacturing, selling, and repairing cars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened with computers. They automated many tasks, but they also created countless new jobs in software development, IT support, and other fields.
So instead of fearing AI, we should focus on adapting and evolving alongside it. We need to equip ourselves with the skills and knowledge to thrive in a world where AI is a ubiquitous presence.
I completely agree. The key is to see AI not as a threat, but as a tool, a powerful tool that can augment our own abilities and help us achieve things we never thought possible.
And maybe it can also teach us something about ourselves along the way. Seeing AI exhibit behaviors like that aha moment in DeepSeek R10 really makes you think about the nature of intelligence.
It does. It challenges our assumptions about what it means to be intelligent and raises some fascinating questions about the potential for artificial consciousness.
It's a reminder that AI isn't just about building better machines. It's also about exploring the mysteries of the human mind and pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
It's a journey of discovery, and we're just at the beginning.
Well said. A huge thank you to expert speaker for guiding us through this incredible deep dive into the world of LLM reasoning. It's been an enlightening conversation.
It's been my pleasure.
And for our listeners, we'd love to hear your thoughts on these developments. What applications of reasoning AI are you most excited about? What concerns or questions do you have? Share your thoughts on our social media channels. Until next time, keep diving deep.